Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, so as you can see, I've already done a few gestures. The plan is going to be today. I'm gonna do um, like maybe 20 minutes of hands, and then after I do 20 minutes of hands, I'm gonna actually go into doing um, gestures that are more like this one. So I'll probably do five of those, and spend about 5 minutes on each, so it'll be about 25 minutes of those gestures. Um, it's just like one, it's really good practice to practice like the exact anatomy like this, but two, I want to get used to doing that because this is, these are great for figuring things out. This is great for once you've figured it out because there's not much for me to do after I've done this except for do the line art. So yeah, so that's kind of what's on the schedule for today, and I can show you all quickly these are the gestures that I did as a warm up today. Um, so yeah, let's get going. I'm gonna get some hands going here. My plan for today as a whole is going to be to get this live stream kind of done, and then after that I'm going to work on finishing up my cover page for my one shot that'll lead into my ongoing, and then hopefully start thumbnailing maybe tomorrow. I'm really excited to do that as well. Sorry, let me just hand stream. I want to do that. Let's do this one. Let's do 30 minutes of hands. Hopefully my power doesn't cut out because it has been really storming here. Yeah, it's like downpouring. So if that happens, I'm sorry. It'll be the end of the video. Not much I can do about that. So let's give myself 2 minutes 30 seconds for each hand. So I will do this. I'm gonna do 15 hands. I'll probably do 10 hands like I typically do. It'll be about 26 minutes, so that's good. Here, why don't I do it this way? I'll do 12 hands. That'll be 31 minutes with a break in between. Perfect. Alright, so let me just select a folder. I hope that y'all are all doing well. I hope you've been taking care of yourselves. Hopefully if you've been drawing too, hopefully that's been going well. If y'all want like a nice safe server to post your art on and get light feedback, just join my Discord. I try to give feedback to people as frequently as I can. But yeah, all right, let's get started. And as always, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask. Sorry, Peter, give me 1 second and I will get right to your comment. Also, I hope you're doing well, Peter. Oops. So this is a slightly difficult fisted hand just because it is holding something. I find these to be the more difficult ones because it's like, you're trying to do a gesture of two things at once, and they're interacting together, so it does make it a bit difficult, but we got it, we got it. Sorry, I'm gonna, no sir, I'm done with this hand, Peter. I'll get to what you said, I apologize. Alright, let's see. I can pause this, I got 30 seconds left. Oh, good. That sounds good. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. It's been really busy at work and stuff for me at like my full-time job, but other than that, man, doing well. And yeah, go ahead and upload. I don't know if you're talking about like I'm guessing uploading on YouTube. But yeah, it's always good depending, you know, on what your long-term goal is. But always just share your journey. Don't be afraid. I think sometimes I fall into the trap of being afraid to share because it's not like my best work or whatever. But people like to see the improvements. So it's not really fun just to watch somebody who's really good at drawing and that's it. Oh, in Discord? Okay. Yeah, please do. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see it. Hands are, oh, you're Raven, okay. I appreciate, you know, all your feedback and stuff on Discord, too. It's always great to have the community engagement, but, yeah, please do share. I'll definitely give feedback on it. I would recommend if you're doing hand gestures and you're finding, like for me, I probably should give myself a bit more time for these, to be honest. I don't want to do that only because it's I don't know. I get stuck into this like really bad habit of like I try really really hard to make it perfect, which is why I like doing these fast ones. Because once you start doing that, you actually start losing a lot of fluidity, and it looks really bad, actually. So that's why I keep it short, but I would recommend giving yourself quite a bit of time, like probably 4 or 5 minutes. This is too long. 4 or 5 minutes per hand. Just to make sure you can get the most out of it. But yeah, I'd love to see that. Okay, that's fine too. I mean, it just depends, right? It depends on what you're trying to work on. Like here, I'm trying to get, one, I want to practice my my forms like you're saying, but two, I want to build on top of it so that when I go to do it for myself and my manga and stuff like that, you know, it feels like I have a good understanding of what comes next. Could probably size this back down just a little bit. I'm pretty happy with this hand. Could it be better? Yeah, but quick swig of my coconut water. Ooh, I don't know if I've drawn this one before. This is a good hand to draw too. Woo! I wonder if could y'all hear that thunder? I probably should not be on my computer right now, but I think it'll be okay. Jeez, that was a big one. That was wild. That was a big one. This hand's not going great because I am distracted. Okay. Let's erase this because I already don't like the way that looks. Okay. Knuckle here. Let's go here. here, and here. Ellipse. About the halfway point. Another ellipse. One more, and more, and then bean, 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 and bean, and then I can go in and fine tune just a bit. Sorry, I do see your other comment. Give me 1 second, because that one felt like it was going to take a little bit more of my attention. There we go. Alright, I'm pretty good with all of those now. It's a little sloppy, but sorry, I want to pause so I can. Yeah, you have a manga to work on while I'm just studying for general purpose drawing. Nice. Oh no, I gotta read your comments. But yeah, it's hard too, because like, I don't know, with like there is a fine balance between like, even with general art, like your speed at which you draw and actually the quality of the work. Like I was talking about earlier, like when you're doing your initial sketches of things, you want to be fast and kind of sloppy because you have a lot of energy when you're doing it that way. And then when you start to slow down a little too much is when you really get stiff and kind of lifeless looking drawings. I am going to take this, though, and I just needed to widen it, I think, but that hand didn't come out as nice as I would have liked. Next hand. I really do need to, like, get my course going. I think I'm going to try to work on that a little bit today. But it's hard because, like, I really do want to get this manga going. Like, the longer I wait, the more frustrated I'm starting to get with myself. Because it's like, I've been waiting years to start doing this one, so it's time, you know? My art is not perfect, and it never will be, so I think at this point it's good enough for me to make a manga online. How am I feeling about this one? I think this needs to all come up on this side a bit. And this. There it goes. I'm like reasonably okay with this one. This is a difficult hand to draw because, again, it's a hand that's interacting with an object. That hand's really bothering me. But that is exactly why I do these like short gestures is because like I would like obsessively work on this hand over here for like 30 minutes, and in that same time I could have just erased it and started a new one and probably just gotten a much better product from it. That's a really good part about gesture too, is that it teaches you that like you shouldn't obsess over like one thing for too long, because in that time you could have literally just restarted and come back to it and gotten a better product and been happier with it, right? It's actually what I recently just did with my my cover. I worked on this cover for like an entire week just to find out that I just didn't like it, and I knew that I wasn't going to because I didn't like the initial gesture, but I just kept like being like, no, I can make this work, I can make this work. And instead what I ended up doing was I didn't waste time because I could still use that for something else, right? But I wish I would have just restarted like I had planned and stuck with like restarting. This hand came out pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. This has a good structure to it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that one came out nice. Got a lot of detail in there too. Yep, I'm happy with that one. I think that I think that I was worse on paper actually. The reason why I like doing digital so much at this point is because it's allowed me to feel like I can make mistakes and not worry. So what's happened is it's allowed me to not procrastinate, because there's like, for me, there's no excuse. Anything is changeable or fixable when you're on when you're digital. Which is true actually too for traditional if you're a painter, right? And having a painterly mindset will help you with that. But I'm not a painter. I'm a drawer. So like digital just works better for me in that regard. Because what would happen for me in paper is that I would get really tense when I went to go for inks, for instance. Because I knew, I was like, man, if I mess this ink up, like, I'm going to have to start over again. And I didn't, like, think at that time. And again, this is when I was still a really young artist. So, like, I wasn't even a quarter of as good as I currently am. Not that I'm, like, that great to begin with. But, yeah. Oh, I see. But yeah, man, that stuff. I'm like getting anxious just thinking about it. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you. But yeah, man. I think that this actually needs to be going this way. Is it? No. It's this way. Cool. Quick break. I did like I have this I need to show you all this thing at some point, but just because I've been getting wrist pain, like when I draw a lot during the week, I'll get wrist pain just because and I got this thing that you like wrap around your wrist and it like gives resistance and you go like this with it, and my right hand I was able to do like the higher resistance and it wasn't too bad because I'm a righty just in life. But when I was doing it with my left hand, oh my god, I was like struggling with these two fingers, and now like my like flexor muscle for those fingers is like just absolutely killing me today. I was like doing it in between my sets of bench yesterday when I was working out. It was rough, man. Good to do it though. It'll help my wrist health in the long run, but good lord. It's like wild how sore it is today. Let's do this. Alright, so 1, 2. Yo, what's up, Locke? How's it going? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is another one where it's an interaction piece where like the hand is holding something. So just trying to be nice. Sounds good. I'm doing pretty well. I think I told you this the other day when you were on. I can't remember, but the that portrait you did, it was beautiful. I guess it was like a study that you like made into a like a personal piece, but you did a really good job. It was beautiful. Two. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you should be. That was a beautiful piece, man. Man, that's a hard hand for me to draw for whatever reason. I mean, it's not horrible as a foundation, but definitely needs some work. It's also crazy is I'm about to jinx the crap out of myself, but I typically do pretty well with this hand, which is wild considering how foreshortened it is. It's funny what you end up finding that you do well in. Alright, so that's that. That finger. That finger. one. And the pinky just kind of straight out. Max, bud, it's alright. Yeah, pretty happy with that, considering how difficult of a hand it is. Of course, my thing isn't working anymore. Max has such a vicious bark for like such a small dog. He only weighs like 20 pounds. Dude's bark is just outstanding for his size. Sorry. Yeah, I put his bed in here so that he's, he'll come in and hang out if his bed's in here. If not, he'll get upset and get lonely out there. So I made sure to put his bed in here, and should probably put like a warning up or something on my page for that, like on the screen for people, like, just as a warning, my dog might bark. Oh, how's the music? Is the music at a good level? Like in comparison to my voice and stuff? Or is it too loud? On 4-digit hands. Oh, you don't hear any music at the moment? Interesting. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. It's playing. Sorry, guys, the mailman came. Max, but sorry, give me 1 second. Let me get him. Alright, I think he should be good to go now. Sorry about that. 4-digit hands. If I were you, I would think about doing 3-digit instead of 4 if it's for a character. The reason for that is because, like, in art, things don't look as good when it's an even number. It looks better as an odd number for the most part. Not everything. But the main character of my upcoming one-shot, she only has 3 fingers. So I think that it's perfectly fine if you do it correctly. Alright, thank you. Sometimes I struggle with the music, sometimes it's loud. So this is a fist, which I definitely need to practice and get better at, because for whatever reason I struggle drawing fists, which is really sad considering it's much easier to draw a fist than it is like an open hand. It's like here-ish. Alright. Now I can get in the knuckles. Alright. So how do I feel about that? I think that I can change this thumb, have it. Yep. My my one shot is going to, well, my one shot and ongoing manga is it's like a sci-fi fantasy, if I were to put a genre on it. Alright, another fist. So let's do it this way. Alright, then we get thumb. This is going to go into here. I can erase this away now, I think. Let's get a knuckle here, a knuckle here, a knuckle here, and a knuckle here. 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 And alright. We get that, 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 and that. Yeah, for whatever reason, this particular fist I struggle with, which is kind of not good. It's not awful. And it's, I guess it's a decent foundation. That I could like build from. Oh man, another fist. The program must have heard me. It's like, oh, you wanted to practice fists today, huh? Yeah, I would say that like my manga is like when I was initially making it, at this point it's like influenced by a lot of different mangas, but like our anime and both, I guess. But it was heavily influenced by Trigun. Like I'm rewatching Trigun for the first time, the original Trigun. Um, but I'm like rewatching it for the first time in I don't know 6 years, with my wife, and um, it's like crazy how much it like my original story in particular was so much like it. It makes sense though because that's when I started like creating it was like basically right after I had watched it and Full Metal Alchemist. Um, I think that oh my gosh, this thing drives me nuts. I can't wait to like upgrade. Um, but yeah, it was just like wild to see how much like Trigun really influenced me. I think what I'll end up doing too is like if I decide to have a time skip, um, it's gonna happen one or two ways, but if I decide having a time skip in my manga, um, when I skip it, it's gonna turn from like a shonen style to a seinen. So it'll be like a totally different story almost. But I'm definitely going to end up creating a more like seinen style manga at some point. Alright, I'm okay with this too. This area is a bit of a mystery to me, so I'll end up studying that at some point. Alright, and that is it for the hands for today. Pretty happy with all of them, really. This is definitely the worst one out of the bunch. It's primarily because I think the wrist needs to be probably that thick, and it fixes quite a bit. And then the fingers are just a bit too lengthy. So if I did this and scaled it down and pulled it up a bit, that would probably help fix some of the problems. But alright. So now we're going to go into doing gestures like these. So it's going to be much different than what my typical content is. Typically I do all of like a whole bunch of these ones and I spend about 2 minutes on each one. Today I'm going to do a bunch of these ones here and I'm going to spend maybe 5-6 minutes on each one somewhere. I'll probably start with 5 and see how that goes. And then we'll wrap it up after I'm done with that. I'll probably only do 5, just because it is going to be quite a bit, gesture poses. But what I'll do after I'm done, I'll explain some of like the thought process and explain a bit of the anatomy. I went over anatomy classes and stuff from Mark Brunet, so I should be able to explain it in a way that's going to be at least pretty accurate. Alright, so let's do 5 minutes. I'll give myself, yeah, 5. I'm gonna actually give myself a 1 minute break in between. Just do 2 sets of 3. I do apologize because I am gonna have to quickly use the restroom because I have the bladder the size of a peanut. But I will be right back. I also need to turn on the AC. 1 second. Sorry, everybody. I'm just going to put it BRB. Okay. 1 second. All right, everybody, I'm back. So, after I do this first one, we'll see. If I need to give myself time, I'll give myself more time. I don't want to, it would defeat the purpose to not be able to consistently finish. So, all right. Whew, I'm like a little nervous. So you're also gonna see me doing a slightly different. I forgot the music. Oh, it stopped. Interesting. All right, it should be good to go now. Thank you for that. All right. So you'll see me using a slightly different, like, whatchamacallit, mannequin. Oh, jeez, dude. This is gonna be a hard one. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do this one. Let's go back. Okay, this is better. You'll see me using a slightly different mannequin. Here goes. And that is because I will want to be more anatomically correct as I'm doing this gesture. Or these gestures, I should say. So I'm doing different landmarks that will help me with that. Ooh. Might need to start a new sheet for this, actually. We'll see. Alright, so his... So, like, this is where you'll start to see a bit of a difference after I get through the pelvic region. The main thing, too, is that you're seeing that I'm taking my time a little bit more and being a little bit more thoughtful about the lines. But, yeah, this is where you're going to start to see a bit of a difference. Sorry, I have to spin my head around because his foot is like like slightly below where my monitor is. All right, and then the other thing I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna shrink this down because this is a bit too big. And I noticed one mistake, which is good. The shoulder's a bit too far out. So it is down, but it's here. Okay. So now I'm going to do like this line for the arm. And what I'm doing is I'm charting where the bones are, pretty much. So that I can start to attach. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, so get this. this is definitely challenging, but it's going to be very helpful once I get used to it. Here to here. This is actually going that way. Here. Just gonna pull this up. Yeah, I probably need to give myself 1 more minute. So I'm gonna after I finish with this, maybe not, maybe just 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I'll give myself 5.5 minutes per, and that should be plenty of time. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my gosh, work mouse, there it goes. Alright, so let me back out, edit session. So we'll do 1 less drawing, and I'll do 5.5. Maybe I can work my way down to 5 a little later. Cool. Alright. But as you can see, like, you know, it's the same, hopefully the same flow and stuff as the other ones, except for more detail. What I'm doing is I'm working my way into having, basically after I'm done with a gesture, the entire body's complete. And that way I can just kind of start squeezing right into pen work and stuff like that, like finalizing the facial details and just pushing forward. Alright. Oh, this is a good one. Alright. The great thing about bones is that they're not going to really change too much, right? From drawing to drawing. So, like, no matter what position the body is actually in, the structure of your skeleton isn't going to change too much as far as, like, how the bones are shaped. Now, that's not to say that they're totally inflexible, right? That's not accurate. But it is to say that they will give you something consistent in drawings that are, you know, sometimes not, you're not drawing, for instance, like a standing pose every single drawing if you're a manga creator. It's just not, it's not going to equate to a good manga. Yeah, I like that better. So like what I'm doing here is I'm charting where the bone is, and then this foot isn't in the picture anymore, but I can go ahead and do the kneecap there. Ankle, ankle. Alright, and let's do the same for the arms. Elbow, wrist, elbow down here, wrist, and now I can see that this is a bit too far out. Alright, and now can get the foot in, For now, I'm just going to block out the fists. but it's important to show where the thumb is for the muscles. All right, so we got a good base in about 2.5 minutes, which is really good. Then I can start to try out the different stuff. I think one thing I'm going to quickly adjust is I think that I have this shoulder just a tad bit too far out. So I'm going to just pull it in just a bit. I can do the sternocleidomastoids. Such a long name for such a simple muscle. Alright. Now, because the bicep is actually like on top here, it's gonna go over top of this. You're gonna get that. And this muscle is gonna kind of do this. And that means that this can come over more. And you're going to get some of the tricep in the back. And now this can come up and also there. This is a pretty simple pose for the forearm muscles there. Cool. And something I can do just to help with the foreshortening is do that, and then this actually needs to be like that. Alright, yeah, I'm spending just a bit too long on the arms, but that's okay. Mostly just because I'm saying that it's okay because you're going to spend most of your anatomy anyways on arms and stuff like that, because most of your shots are going to be like I'm on to the next. Most of your shots are going to be from the waist up. I'll take that. Probably need to make the upper body a little bit bigger on that one, but that's okay. I guess this program really wanted me to draw this Dr. Stone pose today, so I guess we're going to have to go with it. This pose, I'm going to have a lot of difficulty getting the anatomy in because of how foreshortened everything is here. He's like kneeling, but the camera angle is like almost coming like between his legs up to his face. So thanks for the hearts, appreciate it. Appreciate the love. But with foreshortened poses, your structure is vital, so making sure you get about as good of a base as you possibly can before you start to add detail. You start adding detail on a bad base, it's going to come out bad. I think this is even more curved. The opposite leg, you can't see where it goes, so I'm just going to say it's going this way. And this one is going to come up like that. Shoulder, shoulder, this arm down here. Alright, so this is interesting because of how this is foreshortened. The elbow is actually going to come up towards us, so typically your elbows are gonna, like, I'm gonna pause this really fast so I can explain this. Typically what happens with arms is that like for instance in this one, the elbow is going to be behind the arm, meaning like this is going to overlap slightly here before this starts to pull forward towards us. I just kind of saw something that I could fix here. I could probably do it like that. But what's happening in this pose is that the hand is coming towards us like this, but it's bent, so like the elbow is actually, like, because your elbow is the bone that goes from this part of your wrist to this part, it's the ulna. So when it's coming forward towards you, it's actually in front of everything here. And that's what's happening in this pose. It's that the elbow is coming like almost directly towards the camera. So, or the ulna is, so the elbow is actually in front of all of this upper arm here. So that's why I was saying it's an interesting view. Let's just keep it like that, and then I'll add detail in a bit. And it's really, really difficult to see where the lower leg is coming, just because most of the detail is from his hand, which is enormous with the foreshortened angle here. His hand's like literally taking up most of the screen here. And I'm not going to worry about hand details. Just wanted to clean up that anatomy there just a bit. I could probably actually just take this like that. Alright, so now we can start adding some detail. The first thing though is I need to clean up my rib cage. So that my pecs aren't like exceedingly long, or large I should say, like this way. You're not gonna see too much of the traps in the back here because of this angle. Alright, again, this is another one of the angles where, since the bicep is going to be kind of front and center, it's actually going to cause the shape of this delt to be a little bit more blocked, because it's going to be foreshortened from this. It's hard to explain while I'm trying to draw, but in a little while after I've completed all of these, I'll go through and explain like the choices and stuff that were made and why. This is a little rough, but it's okay. I already knew ahead of time it would be. Alright, let's go to the other arm. This arm's off screen, but it would be something like this, with the bicep leading into here. Probably shorter. You would see a little bit of the tricep, and then you probably get something like that. I'm going to block it off there. And I ran out of time, but that's alright. I will finish up from imagination here. And this area right in here is an area I need to like study a little bit, just because it's hard to imagine where the muscles and stuff are going in those areas sometimes, especially when it's super foreshortened. It just makes it more difficult. I actually did not take a break, but it's alright. I'm gonna stop, actually, exit, because some of these I need to clean up, but meaning like some of the poses I need to get rid of, and that was one of them. Alright, this is a good one. Also, if y'all have questions, I will end up answering a lot of anatomy questions at some point. Not some point, in about 15-20 minutes. By like just kind of showing you what my choices were and why. Yeah, if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to ask. I will get to them as best as I can. This is taking up a lot of my brain power, though. I probably need to move this over just a bit, and I do want to there it goes. I'm a little happier with that head. Alright, let's get in the pelvic region, which is going to be at like somewhat of a low viewing angle for us. Alright, so the frame chops off like a good portion of the leg here. It's kind of like this. Alright, so now, meaning I'm not going to worry about drawing too much of this leg. I'll draw the anatomy part of it, but I'm not going to do the lower leg. Alright, so in this view, the elbow is in the back, and it's going to go towards the hand, and there's this wall that he's grabbing onto. Let me give myself a little bit more space here with the frame. Alright, and then this shoulder is like completely behind him. And it goes back, and then the elbow is like here, and then it comes up with the fist here. Alright, so start with the pecs. Actually, let me start here with the sternocleidomastoids. I'll do the traps here, and then I can actually do this. And then do this one. Alright, so now here to here, here to here, here, here. This one is not. This is a, I am looking at references to get the initial pose, but afterwards I am going into anatomy from imagination. So there's not really, it's covered by clothes, so there's not really too much anatomy in here for me to look off of. And that's been true of all of these Alright, I could probably almost do this one completely from imagination at this point, though. I've drawn this particular pose pretty frequently. Alright, let me see here. So this is going to go this way. The bicep's going to go here, and then going to get this muscle going this way, I believe. Like that. I think, right? I'd have to think about that one. But let's just do the general muscle in there. So this is here, bicep, and then boing, boing, into here. There. Again, I think the mistake that's been consistent here, oh no, I ran out of time, is just like this, the shoulder, just making sure that that's good. I'm going to actually pause just for a second. I can't see my reference anymore, but I did want to finish up this anatomy for this one. This is a challenging pose, but I did want to make sure that I get all of this in. Because this is one that I could possibly like learn from for the future, right? So Sartorius is going to go here to here probably. We're going to get some of the hamstrings as well in this view. Then the foot's going to be like kind of blocked up, but in there. I guess one thing I do need to do here is, just because it came out a bit small, oops, I'm gonna just up the size of this just a bit. Actually, I'm gonna free transform it so it's bigger, it's like longer. It's the only thing that I was seeing that was like really wrong. A little bit more. There we go, that's better. Tricep somewhere in there. And I could probably pull this hand up just a bit. So what's happening here is his thumb was like right in here. Yeah, so we're gonna get these muscles from over here coming to the thumb. There it goes. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I'll take some time in a bit to go through and explain some of the choices I make before I wrap up with the anatomy. All right. This is a really cool pose. I haven't gotten a chance to draw it too frequently on stream. Alright. Need to maybe not spend 40 seconds on a head. Alright, Alright, so we're going to get this for the rib cage, and that means that for the collarbones. I'm still gonna place that circle there, and then we get something like that for the pelvic region. And all right, this foot is going to be a bit smaller, and so is this one actually, because this is super foreshortened. All right, then we're gonna get, let's go this way, the elbow in the back, and then we'll do this with the thumb here. Elbow in the back, wrist, thumb here. All right, I'm actually very happy with this gesture. I'm just going to, the only thing I'm going to change is I want to tilt this just a bit more, not too much. And now good to go with muscles. So again, can erase that away just a bit. Again, I like to start with the pecs because of how much space they really take up on the body at the top. And then we're going to go to the delt here. You're not going to really see too much of the traps. I like to keep the poses relatively the same. I have about 50 or 60. I do, some days I'll do, like, for my warm-ups, I'll do these dynamic poses, and some days I'll do just, like, regular standing poses. It just depends on what I'm going to be drawing for that day. But, yeah, I have about, like, 60 of these poses, so it's almost impossible for me to get to all of them, even in a week. But, yeah. It's a good question. I just collect. I don't really I don't delete them out. I do need to clean up some of them though. Thank you for saying that. But I try to collect poses like once every, new ones once every I don't know, couple of months. Can actually pull this up even more than I had it. Alright, so I did the legs that time just because I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of good practice in with the legs for this session. This angle with the thumb being there, the bicep is going to be mostly on top. And then you're going to get tricep back here. It's going to go back because the elbow is behind at this angle. Bicep leads into here. You're going to get this muscle group going there. That one's going to flay out to there. So you can get that, and then, oh no, I'm going to run out of time. I do want to finish this. I'm going to finish this one really fast, and then we'll move on to the next one because I'm almost done. Alright, so you're going to get from this angle not too much of the delt, which is odd because of how large it is. Then you're going to get a lot of bicep in here that slips in. And then a lot of the biceps actually going to get covered up from the forearm muscle. Probably get something like that. And really, the biceps probably going to be like in there. Something like that. The only thing that I'm gonna do with this, this is my favorite one that I've done so far, I believe. I'm just going to shrink his upper body down just a bit, and make it very clear that this is in front. That as well. Most of what I use is actually other drawings. Like, I think like my folder only has a few like life references, but that's because I make sure to find like drawings that are done by professionals. Like I don't look at drawings from like random people typically. But and also the reason for that is because one, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of reference packs, but two, the kind of foreshortening that people end up drawing, you're not going to find always a lot of great references for it. Now, if I'm really lost and I really need help, then I will look at a real life reference for something, but I think the only thing about this particular one that is kind of bothering me just a bit is this arm, actually. Like, the anatomy's good, but it came out looking flat. It looks like the arm is really straight, and I needed to have accentuated stuff a bit more, I think, to make it not look flat. But that's alright. I'm still okay with it. I don't like what I just did. Okay. Next one. I think that this is the last one. So this is a like a more of a bird's eye view angle. So this will be a good test of making sure that I get the foreshortening down a little bit better here. I also just enjoy looking at drawings rather than real life references much more, which is probably not a good thing, I would say, because, you know, you learn more from real life reference than you do from other people's drawings for the most part. Alright, Locke. Have a good time painting some heads. I'm excited to see them once you post them. I think I can take this back just a bit. Yeah, that's better. And I think it just depends. I don't think there is a one way to practice. As long as you're... Oh, you're good, you're good. Yeah, you definitely should stream. It's fun. It's a good way to engage with people that are like fans of you as well. But yeah, there's definitely not one way that's perfect, but you have fans, trust me. You might not know it, but you have people out there that look at your art and are definitely a fan of your art or wish that they could draw the way that you draw. I would say again, the same problem as earlier, like it's just the shoulder's a little too far out. I'll have to pay attention to that when I draw. Oh, good. Alright, the legs for this one are going to be pretty simple, so I think I should be able to actually complete this. I get a little bit of this in here. Just think that even with the foreshortening, the upper body is just a bit big, so I'm going to scale that back down a bit. Yeah, just a bit big. Maybe a little bit more. Alright. I'm going to just finish off it. The time is up, but I'm going to finish off almost here. I forgot to turn on the air conditioner. I was wondering why I started sweating. Okay. You know what it really is? It's that this is a bit wide. All right. This I would look at a reference for, just because it's kind of a difficult angle to imagine. All right, so I'll quickly go through like some of like the choices that I made and why, and talk about like the muscles and stuff like that, to the best of my ability. So all right, let's start with this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just pick like one that I think. Yeah, let's talk about like I'll talk about these two because I think these two came out the best. This one's good too, but it's just a little sloppy. So the let's go with like how I decided to go through the muscle groups. Sorry, I'm gonna change this one last thing here, just to make it feel a little bit less stiff. There it goes. So, all right. When you're doing like the rib cage and stuff, the reason why I start with head, rib cage, and then I put the ball there just because it helps me remember that it's pretty flexible. These two pieces can be very flexible with one another, and then I like to put the collarbones too. So the reason why I go about it this way is because the collarbones are extraordinarily important for placing like 4 muscle groups actually. The collarbones are important for placing the sternocleidomastoids, which are the muscles right here in your neck, because this part right here, and you can even feel this on yourself, it's right here. This part right here is yeah, what's up, Awaken? But this part right here is where those muscles lead to, right? So that pit, that's where that leads to. And then the next group of muscles that are really important for using the collarbones is going to be your pecs. So your pecs are... Sorry, let me just like draw something here. So your pecs are going to go against your sternum. Literally lines up right on that, and they're gonna actually go to your humerus, your arm bone, and then it also connects again to your clavicle, your collarbone, and then what also connects... I'm sorry, I'm like drawing extraordinarily small. It's probably not helpful. So, and then what you end up getting is you get the delts that also connect onto your collarbone. They connect onto the front part of your collarbone, and they also connect all the way in the back. So you're going to get them coming down like this, and then like that. So on this side. Murata. Yeah. I think that, like, I honestly, I haven't read. He's the. Give me one second. He's the creator. Passed away. But he's the creator of, Berserk, right? Oh, is he One Punch Man? Give me a second here. Oh, yeah. One Punch Man. Sorry. Who am I thinking of? Who's the one that passed away? He is the creator of Berserk. But yes, his art's beautiful. Yes, his art is beautiful. Like, this is actually from one of his pieces, this art. Thank you. I'm really bad with names. I'm good with recognizing people's art, but I'm bad with names. Um, so yeah, back to this. So placing the pecs will allow you to start to do other muscles. So like you place the pecs, you can place the delts, and then you can also get in the bicep, which people get this wrong. Biceps actually go underneath your pec muscle. So that's why my original, like these ones, I don't typically, like I did start today placing the collarbones, but that's because I knew that I was going to be practicing this today. But that's why I drew the collarbones for these ones. So you get this, and then you get like, what's the one in the back? Your lats. Yeah. Your lats, you're going to also see, they're going to come from that joint, like this part that connects right here, like your clavicle and your scapula, the triangular, like your shoulder blade, they come together and they high five, and that's where, yeah, no problem at all. That's where your humerus also, like this part right here that I draw, like you can see it up here. This circle that I draw is the connection of, appreciate the hearts, is the connection of your collarbone, your clavicle, and also your humerus. So like the upper arm bone. And a lot of muscles can like reconvene around that spot. So that's why I started drawing the clavicle again today. And then we go, your humerus goes down, and then it has this like, I do have a Discord. Give me 1 second. I will invite you. Typically Coop's involved with that because I always mess this up somehow. That should get you to the Discord. If not, tell me, I'll try again. It might just be here. Yeah, just tell me if it doesn't work and I'll try again. So yeah. So yeah, that joint right there is important, and then also even with the clavicle, you're gonna get this muscle here, the traps. That's also going to play a role with your clavicle because it kind of wraps around and comes here. So you get like this you get this like tube that's like this that you see from the front, and it attaches to your collarbone right there. So there's a lot of muscles and stuff that attach right there. But yeah, then you get, I talked about this back muscle here, the lat. That's going to be the muscle that you see when like, with like huge bodybuilders, you're going to see that they have these like wings almost. It's really going to impact, nice, appreciate it. It's really going to impact the silhouette of your character. And then, so that in the back view, this is just turning into a straight up anatomy lesson. Sorry guys. So the back view, you're gonna get something like this with the spine. Your lats kind of wrap around and go like this to the front-ish, not really to the front, and it stays in the back, but you're gonna see them from the front view. Get your tailbone here. Anyways, so you get this here, down. Your traps actually start, like you have like your spine kind of travels like that. Your traps, they're gonna start like kind of at the back of your head, and then they come down like this, but they wrap around like I just showed to the front, but they attach to your scapula here, the top part, and they kind of round off like this and then come down like that. So you're gonna get like this, and there's like this little bare spot right in here. So you're going to see a bit of that from that front view that I was showing you. And then your lats, they kind of connect up here as well somewhere, but they come down like this, and they kind of like come down in here and touch. Let me see if I can pull my model up. But like the part that's interesting about the lats is like this bottom section here is all tendon, so like it doesn't really grow. So like you can see on this model, they wrap around here and they kind of stop. They go down. Sorry, you're not really. They go down, but they stop like right in here. So when you're drawing it, you're gonna see it from the front, but it's gonna really impact the silhouette in the front, but also in the back. And even your delts, so this muscle here, they attach also a little bit to the scapula, and then they come down like this and forward. So once you get like these muscles kind of down in the upper body, you have a pretty anatomically correct character. So like this, it all looks overdeveloped up here, or actually right in here, but I did that on purpose because it's really important to concentrate on that. And then biceps, triceps, stuff like that, those muscles are very important, don't get me wrong, but they're going to really be impacted significantly by the other muscles. So for instance, like I said earlier, if you do your pec correctly, your bicep slips underneath of it here. It doesn't go over the top. So like from a front view, like, I'm going to blow this up again. Like this is like a 3/4 view, but so from this view, like this muscle's going to travel up and through. You're not going to draw this like this. That's wrong. You would draw it like this. Right? So the pec comes up and in, and then the bicep slips right underneath. Alright, so that's like that's why when I was doing all of this, I was focusing up there first and then going through. So let's talk quickly. I'll go to like the upper and lower arms in a second, but let's talk quickly about the legs. So legs are like interesting because there's a lot of muscles and they do a lot of different things, but it's actually pretty easy to draw them for the most part. So here you get okay, let me see here. You get the vastus medialis, I believe. In the quads, you have like these 4 different muscles. 3 of them are the most visible. So you get the vastus medialis, I believe, which is this inner one. You get the vastus lateralis, which is this outer muscle here. And then in here you get the rectus femoris, I believe. I think this is it. Names don't matter too much, but you get those 3 muscles, and they're going to really shape a majority of your leg. You're going to get other muscles too. I'm not going to go over all of that. If you want to see a huge, like, in-depth, like, even more than this, I will do that in my course at some point. But those muscles are going to really shape the leg, and after you've drawn those, you're pretty much done. Like, yeah, you could add more detail and stuff, but you're pretty much there. You're pretty much golden. So in this compartment, you can get your like kneecap. The vastus medialis is going to drop right next to the kneecap. The vastus lateralis is going to drop slightly above, and then the rectus femoris is even higher. So you get this, like, this is almost the exact muscle shape that's used for the legs in Dragon Ball, and it's because it's accurate, and it's a very simplified version, but it works. Then you get these other muscles that kind of wrap around here and touch in the front here, so you get something like this as a line. Well, the thing with like those kinds of artists is that they have drawn what I'm drawing right now in perspective so many times that they just memorized it. So like their process ends up being like a good person to watch for that actually is like Mark Brunet. Like they visualize, and this is why I've decided to do what I'm doing. They visualize this already. And then past that, they just, since they're already visualizing it, for instance, like for, let me find one. Let me do this one really fast. So like, they'll like draw, and they would draw the head already with the nose and everything like that. But I'm not going to do that here. But they'll draw this, and then they'll just go into like, like doing like the pecs and stuff like that without really any help. I couldn't do it if I tried. I'm trying right now and I can't. And then like, you know, so they've already gotten to the point where it's just like second nature to them to visualize this, and they just go from there. And then last for the legs is like this section. The majority of your lower leg is going to be your calf muscle for the most part, and if it's a back view, your Achilles with the calf muscle. If you can draw this pretty well, you're good to go. The shape is like this, so you're going to get the high point on the outside part of the leg and then the low point on the inside part of the leg. So you're going to have something like that. It creates this like beautiful gesture shape too, where it's like you get one curve and then you get another curve, and they kind of flow into each other. They flow like this. So yeah. Well, it's not even just like for them. It's not even the practice. It's like they're drawing professional art for like different manga like so much that they start to just be like, I can skip this step, I can skip this step, until they're able to just put ink to paper and it's basically done. It's pretty incredible, like the amount of times that they draw it. Unreal. um all right, let's go over quickly the upper arm, and then I gotta jump off because I want to get some stuff done today. I could explain anatomy forever. I actually love anatomy. Drive my wife crazy. So let's look back to the upper arm. So here, with the upper arm, the thing that's really important is looking at the biceps. So the direction that the bicep and the thumb, the direction that the biceps are going to end up going will indicate to you where the this part of your arm, like where this bone is like facing at the bottom, and that's going to help you with your forearm anatomy. So like it's kind of facing this direction here. So what that tells us is that the arm, like the lower part of the humerus bone, is going to be perpendicular to that. So it's going to be like something like this. And that's going to tell us that, yep, the bicep is going to lead into here. And then, for instance, let's say that your thumb is on this side and your hand's like this. So that means that your first muscle group is going to go face towards the thumb. You're going to get this posterior group or anterior group that goes toward the palm of your hand is going to plop out just a bit but go underneath, and then you're going to have this last piece that kind of goes just like that. So there you go. That's a very quick the anatomy of the muscles in here is just it's like pretty simple, really. You just kind of have to, like, as long as you've gotten the rib cage and things fairly accurate, it's pretty simple, because it's just gonna follow that for the most part. You will get like some different things in here, but I'm not going to go over all that because those are probably the least important, and a majority of your characters, when you draw them, are going to have shirts on, so all that's going to be covered up. And again, if you've gotten all of this stuff up here correct, the bottom part, like this section in here, will be fine, for the most part. So, alright. Whew. That went longer than I was expecting. Sorry about that. I went off on a tangent. Hopefully that was helpful. But yeah, I'm going to end up, to be honest with you, I got more value in the 30 minutes doing just a few poses than I did out of these. So what I'm probably going to end up doing for my streams is, like, I'll do hands like I did today, and then I'm going to start working towards doing more of the stuff at the bottom here. I'm not going to explain it like I did today in every video, but I will answer questions if you have them. But yeah, I'm going to start working towards doing this a little bit more, just so that I can practice doing the anatomy correctly for my manga. Pretty happy with these, though. These, for me doing this for the first time in a really long time, it came out really good, especially in comparison here. Last thing I'll do a comparison of like the last time that I did this. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let me see if I can find this here. Did I save it? Oh, you know what? I think it might be in one of these. Structure, upper body. Let me open this one up. I don't think that this is it. Oh, this is some of the stuff that I explained today. See, look. That's so funny. This is from almost a year ago. This is from October of 2022. And look. This is the collarbone. This is the stuff I was talking about. That's so funny. Oh boy. Alright, let me see if I can find this really fast. That is awesome to see, actually. Let me see. Here we go. Oh man, yeah, this is so much better. I haven't posted yet. I'm getting ready to. So this is the stuff that I did in December last year. So again, this isn't bad by any means. These are pretty solid, actually. But this is one, more dynamic poses, but two, done in probably a fourth of the time. So just cool to see. That's really cool. Alrighty. I will. My manga is gonna be called Forsaken Soul. I'll put updates in the Discord. But yeah, I haven't begun it yet. I have my one shot already written and corrected and everything like that. So that's what I'm gonna be working on today. I'm working on the cover page for that. But yeah, I'll probably be able to start that. If I'm being realistic, end of August, more than likely, is when you'll get the first one on there. It'll be on Voice Me. Alright, everybody. I'm going to jump off so I can get to work on that. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm going to end up jumping right on there. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out with me and giving me some love and joining Discord and stuff like that. After this upcoming, well, I guess after like 4th of July week, I'll be more consistent in doing, good, I'm glad to hear that. I'll be more consistent in doing stuff for, like, streams and stuff. It's really going to help me anyways to do streams, so, I love y'all, I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.